Hello everybody. Um, I'm making another video here of the Awakening series, describing a little bit more about the awakening process in the soul. I know a lot of you are interested in the series of the twin flames, but there is a part long before the twin flames that actually happens. There is something much more before you evolve to that level of twin flame to understand. That's what the one of the reasons was that I wanted to make the awakening series because people need to understand things before they actually happen, long before everything else. Because this process for the twin flames begins very early, and the awakening is very powerful because the awakening prepare you for everything that happens in your lives. I was talking about in the beginning of the series of what's going on. There is like a five process that you go through it in each evolution stage about the soul. So today I'm going to talk about the desire to change. So when you beginning to awake, you realize that okay, you pretty much know anything about a physical life, but there is a something that you need to do. So this is was the part of the realizations that you get, and after the realization is this desire for you to change. You start looking though, what do you want to change? You start feeling that like you try maybe a different stuff. You may try to like escape the real three-dimensional life, whatever physical part. You may try to look up from different things. You're watching a movie and something is triggered inside, and it's like, okay, I need to do something. I need to change. The other part inside of you is that focus you change your inside. It is shifting your focus to look for a change, and because you look inside on an unconscious level, you start getting these desires like, okay, I have to do something, then I really need to do something. You start looking for what you looking what you needed to really looking into it during the awakening. It is basically like you feel like this little baby that is basically just born. It's in his second day. He start have this little blurry visions of what's going on. It sees all those, if you're in a hospital, picture you see the white ceiling of the baby, and all you see watching this, and you fall asleep. You open up for a little bit, and you fall asleep. And this is when this following sleep and awakening, you create this desire for you to change. It open up this desire that I'm changed. I'm not in my mom is told me I I change. I'm here. I'm awake. I'm born. And that's how you basically will feel like it when you awaken within the soul. You look for something, but you don't know what you're looking for, and you have these desires inside of it, something to grow, something to change, but doesn't really know what it is. And this desire of want to getting to it, it actually builds the energy inside of you uh, to look up, to look outside of the life that you live in, to look outside the box that you are in, to look someplace else, to shift, to give you this energy that you really need to get to it. And that energy builds up until this humongous part inside of you is like, okay, I need the change. I have this desire. I have this need to change. And that builds up over time. You start feeling the power the way I was, that there is something going on within the soul. You start looking for something. You start even looking for spirituality, something. You start looking for, let's say, like certain movies, type of movies. Maybe those are the movies like The Matrix, or movies like The Last Samurai. It is about something that you actually in a place when you change. You look at those positive movies. You kind of like trying to stay away from negative. You want to focus more on the positive side of the road, and you find this desire to change inside of you growing too. So this is one process of awakening that it's a baby step that you start walking to it, you know, but you still have to be hold on to you still have to be um, in this three-dimensional portion inside of you that you're that little baby right now. You're just awakening, and you need to be hold on to it. So it's very fragile what's going on in these processes into it. And the desires doesn't come without the power you need in order to make the next step. And the next step is actually you make the decision that you're going to be changed. And we'll talking about in the next video for this decision, because when you make it that, it's much more harder on it. To go back to the desire, you may start going and walking on the street. You may driving. You may be in a position that you feel that time inside to be alone, to have alone time inside. So that desire tells you to look. Hey, there is something comes up. There is something going on. There is something more about you right now. There is not any more you can do about this physical learning. You're looking to learn something with different place. Start looking inside. Start looking what really thing comes up. And this kind of like a self-talk between yourself, and you don't know that yet, but this is actually the higher self. It's pulling you up. When you awaken, creates these desires also to change inside. You trusting this higher self in you to change, to have this new movement inside of you, because there is something new about it. There is something new that you are like a blindfolded, but you trust it. You feel like you need to go over that so you can see more and more. That like the baby who just is born wants to see more and more. The baby sleep most of the time when it's newborn. It's only open the eyes when you need something, and you open your eyes when you have this desire to change. You go, you look for information, you go, you read a book, do something pushing you towards that. And the desire, it's going up so high, and you feel the new power inside of you. You feel a new things in you. You feel different happiness. You start feeling maybe like the beginning of happy for no reason, just because you feel right, that you are on the right road. And once that decision comes in inside of it, you decide that, okay, I will do a change. I will do things. I will go. I will grow. I will look more deep in me. What is it that's going on? And you move to that stage of decision inside. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it helps you out to understand some of those steps of awakening. They're small, they're baby steps, but at the beginning those steps are very important to to understand that process, because sometimes you're gonna be go back into it. There's gonna be a point of time of your life where you're gonna go back of that awakening, because the energy of awakening there is gonna help you in the end to find out your answers. Because when you awake, you have questions. Why? Why you? And when you find your answers, then you're gonna go back in there and start looking at everything that happened in your life. So I appreciate that you watched this movie. I would love your comments, and you know it. Be love.